Hello, this is Craig Tashton from Fairway Independent Mortgage, and what I'd like to show you here is a quick rent versus own analysis on 3 Taft Ave in Maynard, Mass, listed by Roxanne Cosda at Keller Williams Realty in Concord, Massachusetts. And as I state here at the top, stop paying rent, buy now. Or another way you could put it is your landlord thanks you for paying his mortgage. Um, And that's basically what you're doing by renting, if you've been renting for some time. So let me show you some of the particulars. In the column 1 here, you have, let's say if you had a current rent of $1,300, and let's say you had other monthly expenses, rental insurance or other monthly expenses of about $30 a month, you'd be paying a total rent of $1,330 per month. I have 3 different low down payment programs here. One is the 3% down mass housing program. You would have to income qualify for this, which I can explain to you. But your mortgage payment based on that, on current interest rates, $1,493. Between taxes, insurance, and PMI or private mortgage insurance, the payment's about $2,100 per month. And I'll skip over here for a second before explaining further. There's also FHA loans with as little as 3.5% down, total payment of $2,176 per month. And the traditional 5% down Fannie Mae loan with a payment of around a little more than $2,000 per month. Now, the other thing to consider when renting versus owning is even though your monthly payment is it seems a lot greater than your current rent, but when you factor in the tax benefit, this is an estimated tax benefit using a 15% tax bracket, and how much you'd be paying principal down per month. This will change. Each month that you pay your mortgage, you pay a little bit more towards principal. So total payments are about, after the tax benefit and the principal pay down, is around $1,500 a month for the 3% down program with mass housing, $1,524, and closer to $1,400 if you have 5% down on the on the Fannie Mae loan. So your net payments, just this displays your net payments again over here: $1,508, $1,524, $1,426. The thing where it makes the biggest difference is here. If you pay rent, and this is showing you the first 6 years of the loan, you would pay about $100,000 in rent using a 1%, modest 1% increase in your rental payment over that period of time. If you were to purchase, you would pay your principal down by about $30,000, around $30,000 or so over the first 6 years, paying down your principal, which is basically your equity. That's money that would be in your pocket if you were to sell the property in the first 6 years. Longer term, if you look over longer term in terms of net worth, the net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. That's what your net worth. That's what your real wealth is. If you left $20,000 in the bank instead of using it as down payment and closing costs, at a 1% savings rate, you'd get about $22,000 over 10 years. In the mass housing program, it would be just about $100,000 in net worth. That's how much value you would have wealth out of that. Same thing, about $100,000. About $100,000 in equity in net worth that you would gain over a 10-year period using a modest 1% increase in appreciation, which is much lower than the rate of inflation right now. So if you have any questions, please give me a call directly. Number's in the top right hand corner. You can call myself and I can plug in your particulars and do a rent versus an own analysis for you. Thank you very much.